What's up, guys? Excuse me. It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time, and I am an unapologetic American patriot. I'm wearing my unapologetic American patriot t-shirt, which I bought in like 2013 or so, or 2014. When was Zimmerman convicted? Exonerated. He was never convicted. When was George Zimmerman exonerated? I think it was around that time that I got this t-shirt. It's Thursday, December 2nd, 2021 AD. It is first Thursday of the month. We will not, though, have our regular men's forum. They are a highlight of the month, but not this month. See you next year, guys. Next year being next month, January 2022. Hopefully, anyway. Calm down, Hank. Will do, Stingray. What's up, guys? Shout out to... Am I live on the Facebook crew? Yes, indeed, I should be. I will be talking about some different things. Glenn Youngkin, FYI, total RINO, in my opinion. They're turning Christmas gay and secular Marxist, evil, not Christian, turning Christmas not Christian. And a lot of us make Christmas Christian, okay? All right, so we colonize the pagans, right? We colonized the pagans and turned it Christian. I got footage of black kids fighting, although you can barely see it. Beautiful rebel flag shared with me from a friend and fan of the show. Abortion mess, transgender mess, Stacey Abrams mess, and fake Christian women. All of that and your calls, 888-775-3773. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
Have you been naughty or nice?
It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report. It's the Hake Report, the Hake Report.
Hey, guys!
It's the Hake Report, the Hake
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. Hate getting extra powers from the soul patch. How are you guys doing? By the way, guys, don't participate in gossip. It's disgusting, and it's not manly, and gossip is not your concern. So don't participate in it. Let God be your God, and live a quiet life. Live a quiet life. There is, of course, a time to speak. Hank, show the video of you dancing. It's on my page, says Malkuth X. I'm not aware that there is video of me dancing out there. Someone remove Hake's cocaine stash. Laughing, says Samuel the Swede. I don't know. I don't know what that's a reference to, but it's not... That I don't count as gossip, because it's just a joke. But shout out to Samuel the Swede. What's up, guys? I will be getting to your calls. Some of you already on hold want to talk about Chris CUOMO. Suspended? Is he fired or is he suspended? I heard that he may come back in as early as next year, but I'm not sure, which is next month. But I'm not sure. Is Italian white enough to be permanently fired? I guess we shall see. He's black on the inside. He's dark and evil and disgusting on the inside. That's Chris CUOMO, the CNN guy who defended his brother in the background against the Me Too lynching. And it was a lynching, let's be honest, by a black female, so-called attorney general or whatever of New York, which is... New Yorkers in general, the voters, I mean, and not the upstate people. Shout out to the upstate people and the sensible people. There's a few sensible people, I'm sure, in New York City. In fact, I've talked with them on air, who are not for the madness. They're pretty much Christians, decent people, sensible people. But New York is corrupt. It is. It just is. Kind of like saying California is corrupt. And they had a corrupt governor, and they've replaced him because he's too white and too straight, basically. So and by white, I mean Italian. But that's white enough to be hated. If you're white enough to be hated, all right, I'll let you be so-called white. Even sometimes Jews get smacked for being so-called white and using the N-word. Remember Bill Maher? Psh. Any time to bash whites, right? Anytime they're white enough to do something so-called stupid, and then they get bashed, and then whites get bashed, punished. What a shame. Anyway, I will get to your calls, though. But first, I have to share this with you. I've been wanting to talk about it. Glenn Youngkin. I told you to vote for the RINO. I take responsibility for encouraging people to support this guy, or should I say this gay? Nah. Glenn Youngkin, in my opinion, is a RINO. And here is evidence from over a week ago. This story came out in nationalfile.com. Excuse me. Here, this is the headline from Frankie Stocks. Frankie, with an IE at the end, Stocks with an E. Glenn Youngkin employs an LGBT activist who lobbied Georgetown University to adopt Green New Deal style restrictions, ban fossil fuels. This is the Glenn Youngkin whom I told you to vote for. And disgusting, huh? And he was running against an even worse, evil liberal, I think, even worse, Terry McAuliffe, who was already governor before. Glenn Youngkin hired an activist who tried to pass Green New Deal style, Green New Deal inspired legislation while in student government. Anybody who's in student government, pretty much an evil liberal, dumb, evil liberal. And I'm zooming in on this person. This looks like what is he, a mixed race Asian guy? What is he? I don't know. But oh my gosh. I'm looking at this photograph from this National File headline, and it has a picture of this young male standing with Glenn Youngkin, who's looking bewildered and with a bewildered, goofy smile. And right next to it is a picture of, guys, I'm easily grossed out. He's wearing like a skirt with his hairy legs and sticking out from underneath, and he's like, and he has a T-shirt that says "Pride, Pride, Pride" and rainbow, radical homosexual, and like what is that? A transgender flag right next to him or something with the blue and purple thing. I don't know what that is, but it's very effeminate. Yeah, he has like a fade haircut, and that's a grown adult male person. Joshua Marin-Mora is the he's comms director or something like that, communications, for Glenn Youngkin, according to his Twitter profile, from Nevada. Hoya, I don't know what that means. He's a he, him. He has his so-called pronouns in his bio on Twitter. And this is a new account, so he thought it was a good idea to put his pronouns. It's not like he used to be a liberal and he turned, pro-America. No, and he's in Washington, D.C. He has his LinkedIn and his profile. And so he retweeted Guy Benson, who is a gay, radical homosexual guy, somewhat plays like he's a sensible gay on Fox News. Guy Benson, anti-Trump RINO. I've seen him talk. He was on a panel It was basically a bunch of liberals, including these rhinos like Guy Benson, I guess he's somewhat conservative or somewhat Republican. Why do you care about it, James? These people are whom you are electing in Virginia, and you think you're taking back the country. You're not. And it's disgusting. And this guy is propped up in... Imagine if a Nazi, I don't know if they exist, but this imaginary Nazi, like people who are being called Nazis, who are just like, what, Afro-Latino Christian Catholics who like are very effective communicators, and they get a big audience on whatever platform they're on. A huge audience, even when they're marginalized. They're called Nazis. I'm referring to a nice guy named Nick J. Fuentes. He's being called a Nazi, right? Imagine if he or somebody, one of the Groypers, were hired. That would be great. We would get some representation, right? Somebody who actually loves the country. Wow, wouldn't that be beautiful? But no, there would be this huge, crazy outrage. But no, the rhinos are hiring gays who support the Green New Deal style restrictions to ban fossil fuels at Georgetown University. So Guy Benson, liberal on Fox News, Jesse Lee Peterson debated him before, right? He was on a panel, thank God for Trump, right? A whole bunch of rhinos and liberals, including that guy, he debated him. He used to appear on that Jewish guy who said the N-word. Senator, I'm a House N-word. Man, I'm blanking on his name. But anyway, that atheist guy, yeah, Bill Maher. There's this fake Christian guy who's the son of a nun who got with a priest, and this guy's a liberal, and he's been on... No, it's not Milo. I'm talking about he's a straight guy. He's a nasty, snarky guy on Twitter. No, he used to appear on Bill Maher a lot. He's basically like run by Rothschilds or somebody. Just a crazy weirdo. But anyway, Jesse appeared on this panel with a bunch of people defending Trump. And Guy Benson was a Trump hater. So Guy Benson, gay, says Joshua Marin-Mora was one of my students when I taught at GU, Georgetown University, last semester. He's Latino and LGBTQ. Strike two. No offense to the Latinos. He holds some heterodox political views. Heterodox, I forget what that word means. As do most of us, but is proudly center-right. Yeah, okay. I'm center-right. Center-right means like you like the Constitution, you love Trump, and you love the country, and you want to send the illegals back. Abortion is evil. LGBT is not okay. Stuff like that. That's center-right. This guy's not center-right. Stupid. And he worked his blank off to help Youngkin beat McAuliffe, especially among Hispanics. Good hire by Glenn. And he's quote tweeting a guy named Pedro L. Gonzalez, who's, a fairly conservative guy, soft-spoken. I think of him as a journalist, but he's a bit of an activist, maybe, I don't know. He has appeared on the Jesse Lee Peterson show at least once and other platforms, and he's kind of exposing the rhinos a little bit here. Says, Youngkin got elected on culture war issues about race and sex. So Youngkin chooses a guy with pronouns in his bio to do comms, who also served on the Georgetown Latinx Leadership Forum and supports virtually everything Youngkin's voters voted against. This is peak GOP. Yep. And so Guy Benson is defending him. Crazy, huh? He ran for a school office in 2020 on a left-wing platform. Green New Deal, if you're not already aware, is pretending that climate change, man-made climate change is a real thing, and we need to impose globalist socialism on it to fix it. Stupid. And it's pushed by evil people like Sandy Cortez, to quote Tucker Carlson on her name. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, to give her the spicy foreign name sound to make her seem like a legitimate communist. No such thing. Yeah, so that's that. Super chat from your girlfriend. Oh, Hake. Tisk, tisk. The Green New Deal is our only way forward. Why else do you think every figure in politics unanimously agrees with it? They're only seeking to pursue a better future for all their constituents. No foul play or backroom deals detected. Nice. Thank you, your girlfriend. Climate change. That's a communist buzzword. Fake communist buzzword. Green is the new red, if you're not familiar. Red means communist. It's so evil. Yeah, sick. Taking Care of Business Bear asks, Hake, how long are you going to keep that dirt under your lip? Referring to this soul patch thing. If you don't want a beard, at least grow a full goatee or goatee. No, man, nobody likes goatees. Those are trendy. Are soul patches trendy right now? Didn't you say Cortez was pretty? Yeah, pretty for a horsey face. And horsey faces can be pretty. Yeah. Shameful. Anyway, guys, let me get to my friend and yours, Rick in Hampton, Virginia, wants to talk about something going on over at CNN. What's up, man? Rick, are you there? Rick, come off of mute. Rick put me on hold, and it went silent. He doesn't care about me. Well, okay, no Rick. Let me tell you guys about... Man, this is disgusting. I'm looking at the clock here. This whole patch just makes you look filthy. Anyway, we're checking on Rick. Did you hear about this? I saw it on Twitter, and it's so disgusting. I'm like hesitating to show you, but it is evil. Children, cover your eyes, or I will tell you when to cover your eyes, honestly. But they're pushing evil on Christmas. So disgusting. New York Post tweeted out an image of it. New York Post, and they are evil too. They're liberals. I can't even. I couldn't even show it. It's too vulgar. But I'm gonna show you this whole video. This is from New York Post. Daddy, and I think that's fake news. I don't even think this guy is a daddy. I don't think he's a father. Caught kissing Santa Claus in a new Postal Service commercial. I'm all Postal Service. Well, that's with an asterisk, but America's not much better. And in fact, I don't think it's any better. It's a Norwegian Postal Service. Posten Norge. Norge? I don't know. Help me out. Did you play this on your show, Samuel the Swede? I guess you're not Norwegian. It's like a 4-minute drama. It's so stupid. This guy writes a love letter to Santa Claus. It's so pathetic. This dude is in his like late 50s or maybe even 60s, and they keep showing his borderline out of shape body, like with his shirt off. Ugh. The kissing part, I personally had to scrub past, but it lasted over 30 seconds, and I'm going to show you the whole video. But I'm going to personally probably be closing my eyes. It said... In 2022, I guess, Norway celebrates 50 years of being able to love whoever you want. Should be whomever, but they don't believe in actual love. I seen this Hake and started to do a story about it. It's gross, says Skip. Yeah, it is. It's so vulgar. They are turning Christmas into pure evil. It's an attack on Christians, and it's an attack on children, brainwashing them to be little commies, little perverted commies. And why are these things being written in English when the commercial is in like pirate language or whatever? You know, Norwegian, whatever they speak. Samuel, come get your people. Shout out to Samuel the Sweet. So here's this clip 11. It's from Postin, and it's on YouTube too. It probably has like over 2 million views. And untold dislikes, by the way, because YouTube didn't get rid of the dislike button. They just got rid of the dislike count, so you can't tell. But shout out, hopefully, to the Groypers and others, you know, honorable young men who dislike this, and the Christians and others. And the Proud Boys, the beautiful, great Proud Boys. When Harry Met Santa, English subtitles, YouTube, vulgar. This is 4 minutes long. I'm sorry, I'm playing it. The Viking is under attack. The Nordic countries have the Christian cross on all their flags. Evil is targeting them all, says Christopher Withers. I have to agree. And I have to apologize for playing this, but I'm playing it. And I'm going to play another vulgar thing, too. Another attack on Christmas by so-called non-Christians here in America. But watch this. Is he peeing? No, he's getting water. What the heck? And there's Santa. What the heck? They're staring at each other. What in the world? Family Christmas dinner. What's he wearing? Crown? He's in bed pondering. Another year, I guess. Different year. It's Christmas. Sees Santa again in his house. This is not a father. I don't see him with any children. Maybe nieces. Is that his niece? Church. Asian kid at church? In Norway? Oh, what the heck? Sleeping on the couch? You're snoring, says Santa. Just watching him sleep. I'll come back next year. With this, you're not supposed to sleep with candles burning, by the way. I guess he has extended family that he eats with. Oh, what the heck? Hanging out with Santa again. What? I'll be back next year. Now he's crying. I'll miss you. Bath? Bath? He's in a bath tub. Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is you, with a heart, to the North Pole. He's all nervous. Christmas presents delivery. Oh gosh. Okay, cover your ears. Cover your eyes, kids. Oh, I arranged for present delivery so I could be with you, says Santa. Cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. It's like 30 seconds. It's so cute, says. No! No! That's so disgusting. And he has like a permanent 5 o'clock shadow too. Look at this. These are like, oh, don't look at this. That's some extra propaganda. No! Oh! They're holding, dude, look at this. Don't look at it. Totally in line with Satan. And then, okay, so it's zooming out. Now it's safe to look again. In 2022, Norway makes 50 years of being able to love whoever we want. Norway, how far you fallen? Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us to all of us. Yeah, right, except for the real Christians and sensible people. Postin. Well, I don't know. Speechless, says Jay Sharms. Are you kidding me? God help us all. Hake, stop it. Oh, man. So sick. So sick. And I looked at the YouTube comments, and supposedly, according to New York Post, it was divided. The gayest promo ever, says Big Bump. Yeah. And supposedly the comments were divided. I scrolled through. I saw like one or two comments that were like not exactly complimentary. But so many of them, including males, were like, oh, so lovely. It's not lovely. It's sick. That's not actual love. Norway, gay. So anyway, that's brainwashing. Long gay commercial. Yeah. And I have worse if you want and if you don't want. Anyway, let's get some relief here. Let's talk to a caller or two. Rick was not ready. We hung up on him. William in Kansas City, Missouri. How are you doing, William?
I'm good, Jake.
Nice. But no man is good.
Pardon me?
No man is good.
I'm good.
Well, you're no man. That's true, too.
I'm good. And you're not a man either.
Whatever. Can you stop playing these gay clips? Seriously, Hake, it's almost every day now, Nugget Man says. No. Terrible. Anyway.
Hey, I just had a question for you.
Okay.
I want to know what's your take on the Arbery case? Do you think that it went the way it should have went? Do you think it was fair or what?
I don't think that it went the way it should have gone. I think it was not fair. It was a kangaroo court. And those men, I hope they appeal, and I hope they get true justice.
Oh, they got true justice.
Nope, they did not.
I knew that's what you would say. I wanted to talk to Jesse, too. I know he would say the same thing because, you guys are haters.
No, you're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
You hate white people.
Let me ask you something. You
hate blacks, too.
Why does the justice system is supposed to only work one way? And that's just
it's supposed to work for the innocent. It's supposed to work for the innocent against the guilty.
According to you and Jesse, it should only work for white people.
No, that doesn't even make sense.
But they got.
You're just showing how dumb and hateful you are.
They deserve. They got just what they deserve. I don't care who it was. Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And wrong is right. But wrong is right to you people, and right is wrong for you people.
What do you mean, you people? Are you being racist again?
There's no such thing as racism. I mean, people. You people who support evil.
You people, that's racist right there.
No, it's not. There's no such thing as racism. Stop being you're a grown man. Stop falling for that mess.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
You can fall any way you want to.
I call you people what you are. You people don't believe in right and wrong.
You are a racist.
You're just telling me that I support what's right. Because anytime somebody's called racist by you people,
you don't support what's right.
Anytime anybody's called racist by you people, it's usually for saying something true, or saying something they have a right to say.
The three guys that committed murder, they wasn't racist?
That's not murder, and it wasn't racist. There's no such thing as racism.
Well, how do you justify that, man? How do you lay down at night and justify something like that?
Because
how do you sleep at night?
Blah 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 blah.
How do you sleep at night?
Are you going to shut up and let me answer?
Like
Are you going to shut up and let me answer?
Go ahead. Now you shut up.
No, you go ahead. Now you shut up. You're not making sense.
No, you shut up.
All right, I'll shut up and I'll answer your question. So
answer the question.
Ahmaud Arbery was attacking Travis. What is Travis to do but shoot him?
Man, why don't you stop lying?
Was he or was he not? Was he or was he not?
It was proved right in court, man. He did not attack him.
Was he not attacking him on video?
Did it take three men with guns to kill one black man? 3 men with guns?
No, it only took Travis.
And it was not the police. They had no business stopping that man. That man was free to run anywhere he wanted to run.
And they were free. They were free to try to conduct a citizen's. They were free to try to conduct a citizen's arrest against a suspicious male.
No, what they did was against the law. It's been proven.
That's not been proven.
It has. You just don't believe in the justice system.
I listened.
You just don't believe in the justice system when it comes to white people.
I listened to experts who actually watched the case. Unlike you didn't watch the case. And even if you did, you wouldn't. And even if you had, you don't have eyes to see or ears to hear.
I watched every bit of it.
You don't have.
If the man had did something wrong, if he had been killed for doing something wrong, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying.
No, you don't have eyes to see
things one way. You and Justin Lee Peters can only see things one way.
You don't
and that's
have
the white
eyes
way.
To see nor ears to
That's
hear.
the white
You are not
way.
a fair-minded witness. You are an evil person. You
Really?
always go against what's right. That's why you call in and accuse me of being racist for saying something true. Everybody saw Ahmaud Arbery attacking Travis. You're too dishonest to admit it. And so are the people who are in court accusing these people of murder. And the jury were cowards. They didn't stand up for what's right.
They didn't have no business messing with the man.
I watched a man.
They had no business messing with the man, period. The law had
Hold on,
already
William. I'm putting William on hold. Just to revisit, guys, if you want the truth from people who are interested in the truth, you can watch two people. This is what the two people that I watched regarding this case, because I'm not that interested. I call him blah, 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 blah. But I watched ABL, and I watched, what's that guy's name, former cop? Brandon Tatum. Between those two guys, you'll get the truth. Brandon Tatum said the law is iffy. The law was iffy, and they changed the law to make it so that men of the town can't look after their own town and conduct a citizen's arrest. They got rid of a citizen's arrest. ABL said that citizen's arrest law said that you have to actually witness a crime. And those guys did not witness a crime. They thought that they had reasonable suspicion, though. And according to the law, it sounds like there may have been room for reasonable suspicion within that law. But it was left in the air. It was confusing to the judge. The lawyers argued about it for like an hour or 3 hours, according to Brandon Tatum, who is an honest witness. And ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, both fans of the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And there's zero racism to any of it, except for the blacks who hate whites, but that's not racism. And William is falling for it. So, William, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not falling for nothing.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm not falling for nothing.
Yes, you are. Why do you even care?
Truth, man.
Tell me this. Why do you even care about this case?
Say what?
Why do you even care about this case?
What do you mean, why you even care about that case? Because I don't like to see nobody commit murder and get away with it.
Please.
It's murder.
Oh, please.
Straight up murder.
Oh, please. Blacks get away with murder every day in Chicago.
Straight up murder.
Blacks get away with murder every day in Chicago. You don't care. You're fake.
Well, white people shouldn't be getting away with murder.
Tell you
Black
why.
people shouldn't be getting away with either.
Let me tell you why you care about this case. Because you're told to. And you're a minion.
Nobody should get away with murder.
You are told to care about this case by the mainstream media.
Don't nobody tell me nothing, Jake. I'm my own man.
You are not your own man. You're not even a man at all.
Nobody tell me nothing.
Yes, they do. That's why you even know about this case.
Now, you're not a man because you're a hater, man. You got so much hate in you. You got so much hate in you, man. I bet you can't sleep at night because you hate so.
I sleep all right.
You're
a pawn.
You got hate in you just like them guys have hate in them. That's why they're where they're at, because they got so much hate in them.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
The one that committed the murder got so much hate. That's why they're in jail now.
You are a pawn. You are a 70-something-year-old pawn. You're being pushed.
That's where they're going to stay.
You are a blind, brainwashed black Typical.
That's where they want to say. Ain't nothing brainwashed about that.
Yes, you are. You're completely brainwashed.
No, you just can't face the truth. That's what it is. You cannot face the truth.
The truth is, Ahmaud Arbery would be alive today had he not attacked the man with the gun.
So
that's the truth. If you cared about black people, you would not be...
Are you saying the court system is wrong?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. It's anti-white.
Now, if a black guy had did the same thing, you would be speaking the other way.
You have no idea what you're talking about. There is no if.
If he'd have stopped the white guy, if some black people stopped a white guy, you'd be talking the same way.
Blah, 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 blah. You have no clue what you're talking about.
Going to jail then, would you?
You have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, you would.
You don't even know me.
I do know you. I know you just a little dumb white boy. That's what you are.
And that's why you're calling my show regularly. Anyway, William.
I don't call you regularly.
Yeah, you do.
I called you today because Jesse Peterson wasn't there. He done lied his way off of TV, and that's what you just about to do. Lie your way off of YouTube.
Whatever.
That's the only thing that it is.
All right.
But I got a hypothetical question for you.
I don't believe in hypotheticals.
If you can answer this, because you and Jesse Peterson talk this all the time. Jim
Justice says you're.
Let me just ask you this.
Hold on. Let me tell you this, if you don't mind. Jim Justice says you're a dumb caller and projecting. You're projecting.
Jesse is a big liar and a hypocrite.
No, he's not.
That's what he is. And I tell him.
Do you know what projecting means?
He's a big liar and a hypocrite.
Do you know what projecting means?
That's what Jesse is.
Do you know what projecting means? It's a question.
Do you know what a hypocrite and a liar is?
It's a yes or no question, buddy.
That's a yes or no question. Do you know what a liar is and a hypocrite?
I asked you first.
Do you know that?
I asked you first. Answer.
You asked me what?
You see, you don't even listen. Blacks don't listen. Do you know what projecting means?
Blacks don't listen. Now, what do white listen?
Do you know what projecting means?
Do whites listen?
All right. Goodbye, William. You don't want to answer.
Good.
All right. Projecting, to answer the question, means that you're accusing me of what you do, which is siding with race because you're told to by the mainstream media and a sucker over what's right. Typical. Am I not right? And he is a hypocrite, but he's evil. Anyway, thank you, William. I appreciate it. I enjoy talking to you. You're very entertaining. 70-year-old who acts like a 10-year-old. Yeah. Anyway, should I reward Rick? Rick, let me get to Rick in Hampton, Virginia. How are you doing, Rick? You were gone. I went to you and you were gone.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I lost you on my phone, man. I apologize for that.
I accept.
When I'm on my lunch break, I don't have a very good reception. I just try to do the best I can.
Okay.
I apologize for that, truly.
All right.
And the question I want to ask you, man, what about Chris CUOMO, man? CNN letting him go, or either suspended or whatever they're gonna do. I
don't know what's happening with him. I know that they had it out to take out Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, who had outlived his usefulness. He was an evil person. He said, if you are pro-life, you don't belong in New York. That's how evil Andrew Cuomo was. He said that several years ago, I want to say. And then this guy, he gets hashtag Me Too, meaning evil, stupid women accuse him of sexual stuff, right? Of sexual harassment or something. And they don't actually charge him with anything, but they do something. And so they oust him, and then he resigns under pressure, under duress. And Chris CUOMO, in the meantime, is trying to defend his brother. And Chris CUOMO works for CNN. Chris CUOMO supported the Me Too movement. He supported the radical LGBT madness. He supports the BLM fake stuff. He supported Antifa as being anti-racist. So he's a communist. And so is Andrew Cuomo, but they're also male and so-called straight, not morally straight, but so-called straight, and so-called white. And white enough to be hated. So they took him out. We'll see what happens.
Wow, because see, I hate to say, if you and I were, well, you and I are brothers, I'd have done the same thing, man. Like, if I know I get these women over here falsely accusing you.
Right.
I would have tried to help my brother too. I would have done nothing different than what CUOMO did. I would have tried to help my brother too, because as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to women talking about they was harassed, if they don't have a paper trail, James, I don't believe it.
Yeah, even with the paper trail, I don't believe it or care, because we all know that women are every bit as vulgar and nasty and vindictive and using of other people and using sex for other people, on other people, to get their way every bit as much. So, if not more, honestly. So these people are sick. They're hypocrites. They're liars. They're evil.
Yep. I tell my wife, the woman God has saved until they convert over and bow down to God.
Yeah.
Because you guys are evil. Y'all play victim when y'all wrong. It's when y'all apologizing. And I say that's how women are.
Yeah.
What that make men? Well, we can get away from God too, but for the most part, y'all was suckered by Satan first.
Yeah.
Hey, man. You know what, too? The Arbery case, man, now that, is crazy. It's places like this. CNN, of course, going to spin it that you can't jog while black. Them guys did not shoot Arbery because he was black jogging. That's a bunch of mess.
Yep.
That's a bunch of mess, man. And I think the only thing, what really turned their case around, James, in my humble opinion, was when they really couldn't identify him as the dude that was vandalizing the house or whatever he's in there. They wasn't sure,
Yeah.
And, that's when they see it, they wasn't sure. Them that buzzed down sharp, and man, he's on this like a Hogan on a ham sandwich.
That's right. He was all over it. What a sicko.
Yeah, Jesse Jackson,
he should be hiding his head in shame, but instead he's shamelessly holding his head and chin up. Reminds me of Bill Clinton. How Bill Clinton used to lift up his ugly nose and chin and just haughtily, just so full of arrogance. That's how Al Sharpton acts. Such a poser.
I don't understand. Al Sharpton, he has done everything from committing drug crimes and
he's a rat.
Falsely accusing police. Exactly.
He's a fed. That's even worse than a normal criminal, I say. Sometimes.
And you'd be surprised, James, how many blacks don't know about that.
Oh yeah.
They don't know about that, and
they don't care about the truth.
And this guy still can get good paying jobs with no experience whatsoever.
Yeah.
How you a news journalist and you ain't did nothing but cause the black community patrol, bringing dope into the community, and then falsely accusing some police officers in the Toronto Brawley case? You never apologize for that.
Oh yeah.
And this guy never done anything that was and he's not, if he gets that quote a few scriptures, that don't mean nothing to me, man. I like people that's living the life.
Yeah.
Not can memorize a few scriptures.
Right.
And that's all that is, and not, and I don't truly think them men were trying to go out there and kill Arbery because he was a black man jogging. And anybody believe that, man, you believe in the tooth fairy, as far as I am concerned.
They were trying to do a citizen's arrest. That's
all
quite
they were
plain.
trying to do.
Yep. And it was definitely ill-advised, especially in the country that we're living in today, with these evil lynch mobs like Sean King stirring up politicized so-called justice against whites for being white, and they called them white supremacists with zero evidence, no such thing really.
Sean King, who was Sean King?
He's the white who pretends that he's black, and he writes for New York Daily News, and I don't know if you've seen him on TV. Maybe, I don't even know if he's been on TV. Maybe he has.
I think I know who you're talking
about. He's on Twitter, and he's always pretending that racism is real and that it's a problem and that it's white.
I think I think I heard him laugh. He up here screaming, "How dare you say that blacks," he was all screaming and talking. The Republicans or conservatives are the ones that was Oh, sure enough, I said, no, sir, this still got it twisted. The Klan was mostly liberals and Democrats.
Yeah, and who cares?
And turn around,
the Klan were better people than Antifa or Democrats today.
Right. He had a nerve to go say that was.
I dare say.
Go ahead, John.
I dare say that the Klan were better people than the Democrats are today.
The Democrats, I don't know what they are.
The Democrats today are pure evil. The Klan, I don't know. I don't know about the Klan. I hear I hear that it's like a go-to thing, right? The Klan this, the Klan that. How about Democrats? How about one word? Democrats and RINOs, liberals, people who believe that racism is real, suckers.
All that, the liberals, the Democrats, as I call them,
the demon
rats. People. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That sounds better than the demon rats. I like demon rats, and that's all they are. A whole bunch of godless people.
Yeah.
And I still be trying to debate with black pastors. How can you support the Democratic Party and you a man of God?
Yep.
And I haven't had no one to take me up on the challenge yet.
Yep. I appreciate it, Rick. It's nice to hear from you, man.
No problem, James. Thanks for taking my call. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. You guys doing a good job. Filling in for Jeff and then taking care of your show.
Nice.
Y'all. God bless y'all.
You as well. All right. Bye. Bye. Before I get to Bobby in Texas is coming up, and also Bible Go-To guys on the line, guys. You can call in 888-775-3773. But first, let me get to this story. Vulgar Jewish Christmas subversion. Not Christian, not even American, just vulgar. I saw this on TKR Official on Telegram. It's from HBO, of course, one of the most vulgar cable news, cable channels, movie channels that have come out in the last 30 years, right? Or 40, I don't know. Here's this fake Christmas movie ad, clip 12, featuring evil, phony comedians, Sarah Silverman, and it's a fake claymation, right? It's like a wannabe children's movie. And I bleeped it out as much as possible. Hopefully I bleeped everything. I even bleeped the word pornography because these people are promoting pornography. And Seth Rogan, another evil, disgusting, phony guy, watch this and shudder.
So let's get these kids some presents.
May I present the hardest working man in snowbiz? Good golly, he's jolly. Our own Santa Claus!
Hey, Merry Christmas. Whoa, you're on my naughty list.
Good news, sir. More American kids believe in you than they do in vaccines or the Holocaust.
That's great. I mean, disheartening for America, but great for us.
I'm here from the North Pole Times. Have you decided who will succeed you as Santa Claus?
Subtext, Santa's old and knocking on death's door. You. Good question. I'll give it some serious thought. Ha ha ho ho ho. Bye.
The position of Santa has mostly been a white man's game.
Exactly. It's crazy. Things have got to change.
My advice to you is, if I die, get rid of my porn.
I want to be the next Santa. If this is your dream, you have to at least make your case.
You gotta get intimate with that jolly bitch.
I know you're right, but do you really have to call me every time you say something?
Yes, because it's empowering to call you bitch.
Santa and the board are all male and all white. They play golf, drink, smoke cigars, say things like, "Don't ever marry your mistress."
Just so you know, the women of the North Pole make fun of one of your have fun wondering whose it is. What I need to learn is how to bro out with these guys. You know, shoot the shots, shoot shots of
She has ideas, but can she really be the face of Christmas?
I'll be named successor, die trying.
Merry Christmas, and to all a kick night.
Evil, huh? Sick stuff. They hate Jesus so much. Yeah. They hate whites, they hate Christians, and they want to promote cheating and pornography and evil women hating white men. By the way, Saint Niklaus, I believe, was a white man. I think he was a real person, right? Niklaus, Saint Nick, also known as Santa Claus. So, perverted and degenerate. So sick. Anyway, let me get to Bobby in Texas. Bobby, thank you for holding. How are you doing?
Doing well, James. How are you doing, man?
Doing fine.
Good to see you back now that you're well. Missed you last week.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I was out for, 10 days? From
Yeah,
Sunday
quite a while.
through Monday, really.
I did manage to catch up on a lot of my reading, though, so
Nice.
it wasn't all bad.
Right on.
But anyway, I really wanted to call in on Nick's show, but I got swamped at work and I wasn't able to call in. But I just wanted to kind of make a comment based on like that beta dad. I think his name was Corey that called in.
Oh, yeah, he's a father of 3 daughters, and he would support abortion if they were raped. What a simp.
Right. And then it's like, now, rape, the only reason it's an issue is because you've got women who are like, they have sex, with somebody, and then they want to say, like, I didn't, and now it's a rape.
Yeah, I know.
Like
It's not legitimate rape.
Yeah, like these actual rape cases are like, very, very seldom and rare, and, I want those people punished. And fortunately, I have a son, so I don't really, I don't have to worry about, that.
Well,
particularly my
I don't
son
know.
getting
Watch out,
pregnant.
because women are raping males now. And it's been happening.
you can. I'm a parent, I teach my kids, so I'm not too worried about that.
And gays, too, doing that stuff to people, too.
Yeah.
They really are shameless about their getting nasty with people. Anyway.
Let's just say that I had a daughter, and this, she was raped and had a baby, or was pregnant. Like, I'm gonna sit down with her, I'm gonna hold her hand, I'm gonna tell her, it ain't the baby that needs killing. It's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't the baby's fault that this happened. We're not
Out of evil can come good, and the baby is a good thing. If you're
Just
legitimately
because
raped and legitimately pregnant from a legitimate rape, please. Anyway.
Well, it's not like I can just say I didn't want to have sex with this guy after I got drunk and had sex with this guy, and he raped me, I got to have an abortion. Yeah, it's not. That doesn't hold water. Like, and if you want to be a parent and you want to be supportive of your daughter, you need to be supportive in the right way, and not be like, oh, I support you to kill a baby that did literally nothing wrong, but be conceived.
Right.
Like it's just completely, asinine. But somebody would have that kind of opinion, that kind of like mentality in their brain, like that's who needs to die.
Yeah, it's not logical at all. But in fact, that's the official position of the so-called GOP. Did you know that? Even Trump is for the exceptions for the cases of rape and incest, which I think he's wrong on that. He's wrong on that.
Yeah, I feel like, it's never okay to kill a baby.
Yeah.
And what's kind of funny, I caught the Mark Dice video this morning, and he was like, it was trying to understand liberals, one of his man on the street pieces, and he was asking, women in California, it's like, it's okay, is it murder if you just, you're 2 months pregnant, you decide to have an abortion, is it murder? And they're like, no, well, what about if, like, your husband, like, comes up and, like, he doesn't want to have the baby, so he comes up and punches you in the stomach and causes a miscarriage? Is that a murder or is that assault? And they're, most of these people are like, oh, that's assault, or, oh yeah, it's murder. Yeah, he did it, because it's a man doing it. It's like, they don't want him to have any choice in the matter. Not that it's right. Not saying that it's right either way. We're just pointing out that these leftards don't have any clue, what's right and wrong. They're just like, yeah, if I want to do it, I can, but if someone else wants to do it, then it's murder.
Yeah. It's so wrong.
It was just kind of funny to watch them like put these people to the question and watch them just kind of deteriorate with no logic to anything.
I saw over in the JLP chat, Asmodor, I think, was covering some of what went on. Justice Thomas asking Does a woman have a right to damage a fetus in the womb by using drugs while pregnant? Was the question that made this evil Reichel something woman, I'm assuming, made her react like a vampire getting holy water thrown on it, according to Asmodor. He said the main argument the U.S. attorney woman kept making, I think that's Reichelman, who's for the Center for Reproductive Rights. I think. Maybe there was a Biden administration person there too, but an evil, probably another woman, kept making in favor of upholding Roe was that according to her, 25% of American women have had at least one abortion. What a sick statement. That means that it's a major Holocaust. That's a major Holocaust. It's not cause for keeping it legal. Stupid.
Against babies. Like, come on. Like, nobody has any opinion. Like, nobody's like willing to stand up for babies. It's like, come on. Like, you would go fight a huge bloody war over, when it happened to Jews, but when it's happening to literal babies, you sit on your hands and say, "My body, my choice," or whatever they say.
Out of sight, right to choose. Out of sight, out of mind. I don't even know what type of propaganda America got in terms of deciding to go to war against Germany. I know that we went to war against the Japanese after the Pearl Harbor thing. But I don't know if we really knew.
I don't think they knew that they were
what was going on
the Jews until after they had actually
because
into Germany.
they were killing a bunch. They were I think they invaded. Didn't they bomb like Paris or like London or something like that? They were trying to start
for like a full year.
Yeah, so there was more stuff going on, but anyway, you're right. And honestly, I remember I was defending the fact that our brothers in the Civil War and before the Civil War, our brothers who owned slaves, the Democrats who owned slaves in the South, they were not such horrific people on the whole. The Democrats today are for the degeneracy that you just watched. If you were unfortunate enough to watch the degeneracy that I just showed you in defaming Christmas and Christians and men and turning them all sexually immoral and promoting abortion and women leadership, that's all evil. That's more evil. That's spiritual evil, which is much worse than the physical evil of slavery. Slavery is a physical evil, but spiritually they may have been, the slave owners didn't have any hate in their heart for the most part. The slaves themselves were dignified and worked and loved their masters like they were supposed to, like Christians are supposed to. But nowadays, there are people who lionize John Brown, a murderous terrorist who pretended like this slavery stuff required violent terror attacks, violent murderous terror attacks. That's kind of like justifying bombing an abortion clinic, which we should not be bombing abortion clinics. We have a whole segment of society that thinks killing babies is okay. That's a problem with society. You need to unbrainwash society. Anyway, I'm on my rant.
I don't condone bombing an abortion clinic. I think abortion clinics shouldn't be there to be bombed in the first place.
Right.
However,
it's not how you go about things.
Exactly. Like we live it's supposed to be a civilized society. But in a civilized society, I don't think you should be killing babies in the first place.
You know, the guy who hosted my hippy dippy roundtable appearance, me versus 7 other people, Dylan Burns TV thought that John Brown, the terrorist, should have done more terror attacks on his fellow Americans and been more traitorous to stop slavery. When in reality, like, slavery was, on the whole, pretty humane here in America. We treated them quite well, but you can't humanely kill babies in the womb. But he would not justify, nobody would justify bombing clinics. So anyway, such a phony, such a, typical
quick,
illogical people.
real quick on that Ahmaud Arbery, like, man, that was a case that I really didn't follow at all. I kind of expected the outcome that came. I don't understand enough about like citizens arrest. Like, as far as I had known, I thought you couldn't do that anymore. I thought that was like
they changed the law. You could do that. You could do that until they changed the law in response to this case to kiss up to the blacks and to punish whites.
Have you ever heard of a citizen's arrest?
Oh yeah, I'd heard of citizen's arrest long before this.
I've heard of the word. I couldn't pick out a case or an incident that I ever heard of where someone physically, literally citizens arrested someone.
Well, what happens is they detain the person. There was a case where, and I showed it, where this guy who was a former Marine, he saw these black kids, I'm assuming they were black, maybe they weren't, who came up and tried to do a stick-up. He pushed the handgun of the kid, I call him a kid, the young evil person, out of the way and punched the guy and held him down until the cops showed up. That's a citizen's arrest. Yeah, that's a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So there are more citizen's arrests that you just don't know about because they don't really get publicized because the mainstream media doesn't have an angle to call whites racist over it, usually.
And nobody died, I guess, in that.
Yeah.
Case. And he didn't have a gun, and, he was detaining the guy after, disarming him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that technically, I guess you're right, though. That would classify as a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, because that's all it is. You're just holding the person down, essentially, for the cop to show up and sort things out. Because the person doesn't take the person to the station and book them. The citizen,
That's another. Like, why would they? Like, I didn't. Like I said, I didn't follow Ahmaud Arbery at all. Like, I know he was shot by 3 guys were there, and they were unable to subdue him without shooting him. He was trying to take the gun from the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's correct.
So, but the 3 of them were unable to hold him without him getting the gun from him.
He was too squirrely. They cornered him. They headed him off, and he started acting erratic. As so often, these people, it's like they have a death wish, really. They're just so reckless. They're reckless with their own lives and with the lives of others. He's a miserable person, apparently. And so Ahmaud, blah, 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 went after Travis McMichael and punched him, tried to grab at his gun, got himself shot and killed. Matt the American says if those 3 guys would have just minded their own business, they wouldn't be in prison now. But their business is to defend their town. But you're right. You're right. I mean, look at them right now. Clearly, you're right.
Because that was the thing with in that Kyle Rittenhouse case. They were pushing that you don't have the right to.
I know to look out for your own community,
property.
Yeah,
or defend property with deadly force. I guess
that was Everybody go to. I think I shared it on my Telegram. The great. And I mean this, even though he's such a mainstream type of a guy. Brandon Tatum, he had a great Instagram live talking about this is not vigilante justice. These 3 men who headed off, tried to do a citizen's arrest, failed citizen's arrest on Ahmaud Arbery. They were looking out for their community. They had the right to do it. But let me finish Matt the American. He says if the jogger wouldn't have grabbed the gun, he would be jogging today. Yeah, he would be alive today.
True.
Anyway.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, I see it. I can kind of see both sides. I'm kind of the side of he should have probably not brought a gun. There were 3 of them. They should have been able to subdue this guy, or they should have not been involved.
Yeah.
If you feel like you can't take the guy with 3 of you, you probably should just let it go. Call the police. And go about your life.
I mean, they're whites, and it's an anti-white world. They almost got away with it, and I say got away with it as if they did anything wrong. I'm not really convinced.
Yeah, I'm not convinced they did anything wrong. My point is though, that had they not brought the gun, they probably the 3 of them could have subdued him. He would have been squirrely. May have been a also fight.
I mean, this is
But,
America. You're supposed to be able to carry guns and defend
Yeah,
yourself.
but I mean, you're putting yourself in a situation like that when you do.
Yeah, I mean, just avoid the blacks, guys.
Like, I carry a gun 24/7. Like, anytime I leave my house, I strap up.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm prepared, but I'm also very, very cautious about, you know, what I would pull my gun out for.
Yeah, it's an
Like,
anti-gun,
what instance.
anti-white, anti-man world. And
Like,
if you want the proof, look at what these
confront.
guys are doing. They're suffering, being accused of being so-called convicted of murder. What a shame. So
Like, I work with a bunch of women. I have 20 women that work with me.
Oh, man.
And, like, we have homeless problem around where I work. So, like, I have to, you know, handle those homeless people. I never, you know, would pull my gun out on one of those homeless people unless, like, you know, I was forced. Like, they came at me with some kind of weapon, you know.
yeah.
I'm not gonna push that. I take my gun, I have it, but I never would withdraw it from the holster until, like, something very pressing was, like, my life was literally in danger.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the problem with that case, is that they brought a gun, like a large gun that's not concealed, and we're trying to, like, conduct this arrest. Had they not had the gun, I would think 3 people should be able to take this guy. Might get punched in the face a couple of times, which happened anyway. But, you know, I mean, that's the risk you run when you're trying to perform something like that. You're not a police officer, so, you know, you're running the risk of this guy punching you in the face and, you know,
Yeah.
attempting to take your weapon. So, like, I don't know. I can see it from, like, why he's probably in jail. Had they not brought a gun, he would have probably still be on the streets, be walking around and, you know, living their life. All 4 people. But,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I see what you're saying, though. I do understand that, you know, they do have the right, but I think you have to be very cautious.
Especially in
right.
society today, because society, the
especially.
justice system is not for actual justice anymore. Thank you, Bobby.
Right on,
Appreciate
James.
hearing from
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good to see you back.
Merry
Talk to you
Christmas
again.
to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
All right. Bye. Before I get to Bible Go-To Guy and the Super Chats, guys, we are over the top of the hour. It's 10:08 here in Los Angeles. I have a song to share with you. It's from the Lujo Records compilation, All I Want for Christmas, from 2004. And the track that I want to share with you is track 7 from this compilation album. I Wonder As I Wander. It's a great old Christmas song, and it's from the band called Fangs, I believe. Fangs. So enjoy, guys, and I will be back for the rest of hour 2. Hang tight.
Sky. of stone, with shepherds and wise men and angels and all the blessings of Christmas from heaven did fall, and the weary world woke to the Savior's call.
Boo this music and boo Bible Go-To Guy. What's up, DJ on Pop? Beta music, this is awful, says Jim Justice. Always dig a dark melody. Play a song the drummer knows. White punk jazz, says Malcolm X. These guys lost their sheet music? What's up, Sail Away? James Pointer. So excited. Won't be playing any of Hake's music, that's for sure. This is what depressed emos find uplifting for Christmas. Cool music, Hake, before the singing. Hake, how you gonna do us like that, James? What's up, Jib Jab? Hake, this is nice. What is it again? Fangs. I Wonder As I Wander. Lujo Records, Lujo. All I Want for Christmas, 2004. What kind of lib racket is this? A shoegazer Christmas. I like it. It sounds like a metal intro. Well, I appreciate you guys going through that with me. Hard to get in this Christmas spirit now. Quick super chats before I get to Bible Go-To Guy. Your girlfriend says, Hake, with a super chat on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. That's how you can find it. Hake, have you seen the new Black Rifle coffee commercial? I reported it for sexual content. Wow. No, I have not checked that out. Black Rifle coffee is supposed to be for veterans, but they're not for America. And I don't think that they're Christians. They disowned Kyle, Jack Bauer, John Wick, John Wayne, Rittenhouse, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Super chats from Shaggy Boy, flipping a coin, and Uncle Ted 88 also flipping a coin. Thank you, guys. I don't know if I read those. They might have been from the other day. Brandon M. gave a super chat on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@the Hake Report. It says 98% of abortions are elective when listed for reasoning. The rape and incest part is under 1%. And elective, if you're not familiar, that means for convenience. For convenience. Killing the baby for convenience. Talk about killing your soul, killing your own soul and your child's body and soul. Abortion is just a safety mechanism for women's lack of self-accountability. Yeah, and then they turn around and accuse men of being irresponsible, which oftentimes we are, but check yourselves, ladies, and I use the term loosely. Am I right? Yeah. Cheesehead69 gave a super chat and says, Hey, Hake, digging the soul patch. Thanks to you and Nick for holding down the fort while Jesse rests. Yeah, if you're not already aware, JLP is resting. He is on his, he took Thursday, Friday off, obviously, because it was Thanksgiving and the next day. And the rest of his crew were sick. And then, and now it's Thursday, so what is that, 8 days off? Well, he tried to work on like Tuesday or something, or Monday. But ill-advised, should have rested. And I took more days than that off. So anyway, let me get to Bible Go-To Guy out of Los Angeles, California. How are you doing, Bible Go-To Guy?
Doing well, James, and yourself?
Doing fine. Thank you.
You did say that at the start of the show.
Yes, I did.
I am fine. You know that last song you did, man. Wow.
Oh, yeah. How'd you like it?
That was rough. That was rough to hear.
It was a little, it was slightly off key. It was kind of endearing.
Slightly? lightly. Hey, you know, when you were arguing with that, the black gentleman who called you up, William, was
from
it William?
Illinois, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Not to be
You
confused with
mentioned the
William
word-
from California.
You mentioned the word projection, and that's what got me to. That's what triggered me. It triggered me to think about that. That projection is like, you know what we don't do? We don't do enough of the right projection. We only do where we project our evil onto others, but we never project like you know how William was defending Ahmaud Arbery, right?
Yeah.
But what they teach you in lawyer school is to look at the other side, right? They teach you in law school to look at the other side. So if you're going to defend a client, you have to think as the prosecutor thinks, so you know how to defend your client. You got to know when you ask a question how they're going to answer, so you can, you know, have a rebuttal, right?
Yeah.
It's very simple. Most of us do not project. Like your black collar William, he did not project. Like, just switch the races. Switch the races and then see how you feel about what happened, right? Arbery would be white, and the guys who ran up to him in the truck with guns would be black. And then just see how you would feel about that because to me, how I look at the case is it's just somebody who foolishly was playing with firearms. Ahmaud Arbery was foolishly playing with firearms, and he accidentally got killed. Because when you are trying to wrestle a gun away from somebody who has their finger on the trigger or near the trigger of a rifle that's loaded, that you have to assume is loaded, right? Because he's using it for defense, then the consequences of not succeeding in what you're trying to do may be you get shot.
Yeah.
So Ahmaud Arbery did not judge these guys right in that, oh, they're not trying to kill me. They're just trying to maybe show off some bravado, or they genuinely feel the way they feel is that I am a threat. Let me just talk to them a little bit. What do you call it? Talk down the situation. What's that word?
De-escalate?
That the police use? Yeah, de-escalate the situation. He did not. He escalated the situation. Well, when you escalate a situation and somebody has a gun,
yeah,
you could get hurt. You could get killed. The
Yep.
other guy could get killed.
And it's so common for these blacks to do this, to escalate the situation. It's so unnecessary.
Because they're into bravado above, de-escalating.
Yeah.
Oh, you show me a gun. Blacks do it all the time. They use the word disrespect as a way to escalate the situation instead of de-escalate. Take your disrespect.
Yeah. Live to jog another day.
The other cheek. That's what turning the other cheek is all about. You don't like throw insult for insult. You just
That's true. It's not Christian.
Yeah. And especially when it's a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
You want to try to de-escalate. Well, he didn't. He did the other way around.
Be
and
civilized.
So whether the guy was black or white, you switch the colors, or both were black or whatever, you got to look at it without this, what we think their intentions were.
Yeah. Is it too much to ask?
The mechanics of it alone is risky.
Is it too much to ask to expect a jogger to be civilized? Normally, jogging people are civilized, disciplined, respectful. They will
shy.
Yeah, they'll
they'd
deal
rather
with the,
run and be alone than to hang with other people. Maybe,
but no,
that could be that element, or they they could just be health freaks.
Right.
But
did they ever really nail? I don't expect you to know the answer to this question. Did they ever really show what shoes he was really wearing? Because some were speculating, and I think it's speculation, that he was wearing work boots or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, if you're wearing boots, you're only running to kind of get away from the area.
I don't know if he was wearing boots or not, because it might have just been a weird picture.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what the people who try to distort the situation, they'll say like, he should have never been killed for being in the house or for jogging. Well, he wasn't.
Right. He was killed for fighting a guy over a gun.
He wasn't jogging along the road and somebody just rode by and shot him.
Right.
Or he wasn't in the house and somebody just shot him because he was in the house. He actually assaulted somebody who was holding a loaded gun at the time, and that's a risky thing to do.
Yeah. Very.
When you should be trying to de-escalate.
Yep.
And so that's all I wanted to point out is people don't project properly. They only project their evil into others, based on their prejudices, but they don't really objectively look at things.
Yeah.
And that's where we all have gotten out of whack.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you, Bible Go-To Guy. And we have a media that is not Christian or honest, which is, I'm being redundant.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bible Go-To Guy, I appreciate you. Take care.
Have a good day.
And Merry Christmas. I
Merry
wonder
Christmas.
as I wander.
Thanks.
Bye. Before I get back to calls, have I read the Super Chats? Let me just double check here. I think I have. I want to share with you this story of black kids fighting. Clip 13. I saw this on Drudge. Yes, I'm looking at Drudge again. Fox 5 New York reports on this story from Tampa, Florida. Whatever. Mainstream media covering everything and from everywhere. Hundreds of children brawl at a trampoline park. Yes, Skyzone again. I feel like we've covered a story similar to this like a year ago or less, or maybe more. This time in Tampa, Florida. Watch this clip. It's a little news report just showing chaos. And I don't really see punches being thrown, but they say that it's a fight involving 200 kids, mostly teenagers. According to Hillsborough County Sheriff's Deputy, the melee involved about 200 kids. Listen to this news report.
First at 5 today, cell phone cameras rolled as a fight at a trampoline park in Tampa turned into this huge brawl. Hillsborough deputies say it involved hundreds of kids. As Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer reports, the fight has some parents scared for their children's safety.
2 days after she recorded jarring video of a brawl at a trampoline park in Tampa.
This escalated very quickly.
This mother says it's still jarring to watch.
They were all having fun, and then when this lady says, "Oh my God," and I turn around to look, they're fighting on the right side.
Sandra Bermudez says this unfolded while she was at Skyzone on Ahmaud Drive with her 9-year-old son Saturday. She's not sure what started the fight, but it quickly got out of control as she recorded with her cell phone. Bermudez was scared for her much smaller son.
I thought he was going to get hurt.
According to Hillsborough deputies, the melee involved about 200 kids, mostly teenagers. Skyzone security can be seen trying to intervene. The business closed early to move everyone outside, and Bermudez continued rolling as the fight continued in the parking lot. Deputies can be seen responding late in the video. We're told they briefly detained and released one child, but made no arrests.
I think that this would have been easier to control if more parents had been there.
Yep.
Because the kids were all unsupervised.
It's unclear if anyone was seriously hurt. This mom is just glad her young son wasn't.
I tried to use it as an opportunity to teach him, if this ever happens in the future, the first thing you need to do is pull your waist up from the crowd.
She just hopes they'll never be in this situation again, here or anywhere else. In Tampa, Aaron Mesmer, Fox 13 News.
Well, so far, Skyzone hasn't responded to our request for comment, so it's unclear how many security guards were there when the fight broke out. Deputies say the brawl spilled over into nearby businesses down the street, and that they did try to track down the parents of those involved.
Good luck. Crazy, huh? This is another reason why I tell you guys to avoid large crowds, because especially so-called diverse crowds, because it's a mess. Out of control, rambunctious children, teens, mostly teenagers. Teens is the buzzword. Not just because of the China virus, not just because of the illegal aliens disease, and not just because of crime and terrorism, because there are terror attacks that are happening in places of large crowds. Also, this mess. What a mess, huh? But jogging in white neighborhoods dangerous? Terrible, huh? Just had to share that with you. I feel like I've heard of Skyzone before with regard to this mess. And speaking of mess, you know, they're acting like whites are the problem, and they're not. Lines are full, guys. I will get to you. Look at this. A friend of the show and a friend of mine and a friend of yours sent this to me on Twitter DM. Confederate battle flag. Unity. I have a battle flag right here. The beautiful South. Falsely maligned. Rebel flag. Confederate sticker. My laptop is not the only one with a Confederate battle flag on the laptop. Mike sent this to me, like my new laptop sticker, and it has a Confederate battle flag, the rebel flag, the one seen atop the General Lee. Shout out to the Dukes of Hazzard. And it says, "In God we trust." Yeah, that's right. Isn't that a version of the Christian cross? The red flag with the blue X over it, the cross. X means cross. It's not Xing out Christ, guys. It's a cross with the stars on it. The Confederate States of America. Those are our brothers. We fought a war to keep the country united. And apparently they lost their right to self-determination. So how about we be united with our Southern brothers rather than call them losers and traitors and other fake things? You're a loser. You're a traitor. Anybody who calls them losers and traitors are themselves losers and traitors to the America that fought a civil war to keep them our brothers in America, right? Duh. How about we use some logic and common sense and love, right? So, nice. Anyway, I got to get to Dean in North Carolina. He's been on hold for some time now. He wants to talk about this abortion madness. What's up, Dean? How are you?
Great. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
All right, I just want to touch on that abortion thing real quick.
Okay.
All right, a few years back before I retired, I lived up in Virginia.
You retired? How old are you?
38.
38 years old and you retired?
Yeah.
What were you in the military or something?
Neither here nor there.
Okay, whatever. I don't want to get too
well,
involved.
I could get to that another day.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I'd go to these little prayer meeting things every Wednesday with this buddy of mine named Todd. I won't really give his name, but he runs a thing called the Kime Center up in Virginia. And the Kime Center is like a not pregnant team, but like a pregnancy center that you can go to instead of going to. Y'all still there?
Yes.
So it's like it's basically instead of going to Planned Parenthood, you can go to this place, and it's all Christian based, all donation based, and they'll help you with your pregnancy instead of terminating it.
Nice.
And so I go to these meetings,
which is a euphemism for killing the baby and extracting the baby.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's murder in any way you look at it.
Right.
Anyway, it's murder.
Yeah.
So I'd go to these meetings, and they would at this one time they had these women that came in, and they were I didn't know them, but they started giving testimonies, and like two of them were incest that had terminated babies, and one of them was a rape victim that had killed her babies.
Yeah.
And it was like years after the fact. So these women had 10 years had gone by, and it destroyed their souls. Like these women were angry.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff like
guilt-ridden, nasty.
Yeah, yeah. If they could have do it over, like they even said they would have never done it.
And it doesn't have to be that way. You can, once you realize that you're wrong, you can be forgiven and repent.
It's a baby out of the womb.
Yeah.
Fetus is just a term that it literally just means baby.
I know.
Or whatever. Like it's like.
You're right. These people sear their consciences, and then they become angry, and they are guilt-ridden. And women themselves,
some
even
women
without
can cope different than others. Some
right.
people get abortions, and they can cope by being successful, but it's only so long. Your spirit will eventually.
And imagine how they treat their children. Imagine how they treat their children, and imagine how those children grow up and treat others in the world. They end up being.
Two wrongs don't make
worse.
it right. Simple.
Yeah. Yep.
And I just want to say something about the Nazis.
Okay.
They were just a bunch of gay meth heads. They got beat up by a bunch of 17-year-olds Americans.
I don't know. All right, maybe. Yeah, you might be right.
I am right.
I've heard that people were taking major drugs, kind of like ISIS.
Bro, they're out there effing and effing, bro.
Okay. Well, that's a bit vulgar, but I'm sure there's some truth. Some people did something.
Some people did something.
Well, thank you for the feedback, Dean. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah,
from
no
North
doubt.
Carolina.
No doubt, bro.
All right. Take care.
Later. Have a good one.
You too. Let me first get to a first-time caller, Justin in Arizona. Justin, thank you for holding and calling. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, James.
Nice.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I was calling, man. Well, I hope everything's good. I was just calling because I was just thinking, throughout the aftermath of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, I see, like people I respect in the media, like Tucker Carlson. I always my favorite news anchor, Matt Walsh. People from Slightly Offensive. They seem to be cracking jokes at the person that died. I'm not saying what he did. He was absolutely wrong how he lived his life, and I even heard from their perspective. I even heard Matt Walsh said that by judging how he acted on the last moment of his life, you could tell that he most likely didn't have God in his life. But those same people I'm seeing are cracking jokes about the dead, and I'm like, I believe in God. I'm not worshiping him, and I do know that Satan is my father. Even though I believe in Satan, I don't worship him either, but I believe in both of them. But if I was a Christian, I'd be like, look, dude, the dude probably got his ass kicked every fucking day.
Hey, keep it clean, buddy.
Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry,
kids.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Oh, the dude probably got his butt kicked every day.
You're talking about Joseph Rosenbaum, the first guy who attacked.
Yeah, no. And let me tell you, dude, he was in the wrong, dude. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you gotta be an idiot. You gotta be an idiot to like chase somebody with a gun.
Right.
And I have a gun, dude. And it just deters people. It keeps the peace, in my opinion.
Did you say that did you say that you don't believe in God?
No, I said I believe in God. I just choosing not to worship him and follow his what he wants for his people.
You believe there is a God, but you don't worship God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to deny his existence, but I just choosing. I'm making a choice not to follow him. Purposely. I'm not going to lie.
So
what I'm saying
because of the temptations of the world, is that what you mean, basically?
Temptations, and then like every time I talk to a Christian, they're like, "Oh, this is what you got to do. You have to do this. You have to do that." And I'm like, "Dude, I got to work."
So the things that you hear are required of a Christian are not appealing to you. So you're just leaving the God thing alone right now.
Well, the thing is that I found God through like people like the Vigilant Christian on YouTube or podcasts. I found Jesse Lee Peterson that way. No one really outreached to me, and everything. And I heard people talking, and I believe in God. I do. But
so you believe in God, but you're just living like a secular life, basically.
Yeah, basically all of it has to do with like just like everyone says that you have to do this, you have to do.
All right.
You have to do this. You have to do that, and I'm just like, dude, can I just like work my 2 jobs and just try to be happy in my life, love God with all my heart, like don't hate people, like love do I have to go worship after I just work 2 not worship, but fellowship after I just work 2 jobs, No, but I'm getting off point.
Okay.
The point is that, I see people that are self-proclaimed Christians that are cracking jokes every time they mention the dude's name. And I'm just like, I fear God. I'm like, I gotta tell you, like when I die, I'm not gonna look forward to his wrath.
So
and judging by those people, how they live, chasing him, saying "F you," "I'm gonna fucking kill you," to Kyle Rittenhouse, you could tell. Just like people that I heard that maybe they didn't have God in their life.
Right.
So I don't think God would be like, you're dead now. I'm going to punish you, and this is what you deserve. And I just don't think that Christians should be like,
gloating.
That someone, gloating or happy that they died in their sin. I think they'd be like, oh, you know what? He lived his life. He made terrible decisions, and he probably, like I said, he probably got beat up for it every day. But I think a Christian should fundamentally be sad that someone died in their sins. And now that they have to face the wrath of God.
I don't know if they should be sad, but I don't think that they should be malicious.
Rejoiceful?
Yeah, I don't think they should be all gloating and I mean, joking. there's a time to joke around, I guess. But I suppose that I can agree with you a little bit because this Joseph ROSENBAUM guy, he was a miserable person.
Yeah,
and
he did a lot of terrible things.
I have no ill will toward any of the evil people who attacked Kyle, including the guy who wishes that he had emptied his magazine into Kyle. He's a disgusting person with his evil self, but I have no ill will towards those guys. It was just a professional, well, amateur, but acting very. Kyle was very professional in how he handled that situation, and it was. And it was
it was justified.
Yeah, it was dispassionate. It was dispassionate. So
And,
I guess I can agree with you. I'm not for this. Off the pedophile before you can molest him too, or whatever.
Well,
I'm not for that.
It's like, hey Jake, it's like I remember Jesse Lee Peterson asking a question. He asked, are you better than a
child molester? Are you better than a child molester?
Yeah, why? Yeah, like that. And every time I think about that situation, I think about Jesse saying that right there. So, and I'm just like, he did a lot of terrible things, no doubt about that. And he paid for it, and he got his ass beat every fucking day. Trust me, I know that.
Keep it clean, Justin.
I'm sorry.
Children are listening.
I'm so sorry, Jake. Forgive me, man.
I accept.
But when I think about that, I think about what Jesse Lee Peterson said. Do you think that you're, and I have to say that I don't agree with Christians cracking jokes every time. Just let God, dish his wrath out. He's the one that's going to do that, and just pray that people don't ever do the horrible stuff that Joseph did on earth, and just pray that people like him, find God and so they don't do stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was just thinking about stuff like that. I don't know.
All right. Well, interesting call, man. You do JLP's silent prayer?
I'm going to be honest with you. I got to stop being bitter. I got to stop being jealous. I got to stop being this. And maybe my heart will open. Well, God will open my heart to him. But I got to tell you, like I said, I believe in God 100%. I'm just bitter. I'm just this and that turns me away from him. But I do believe in him. So to answer your question, no, sir. No.
Well, I recommend it, man.
I will. And dude, even though I do take just these Peterson, when he calls it the pain, when you're in the pain, just relax. Don't try to reason or something. I can't even remember exact ways, but just relax. It's been helping, and who knows, man, maybe.
You have a family that you're taking care of your own? Like your wife and kids?
No. Oh, no, I'm too immature for that. You gotta
How
be
old are
mature, and I'm 32 years old. But just because I'm 32, man, you got to be all prepared to have a family. And
I don't know, man. I think it's a sink or swim type of situation. You look at the average father that you see, they're pretty immature too. I mean, I think it's you grow into it. But whatever, you know yourself. Are you living at home with your parents?
No, I live
because you have two jobs. It seems like you're a working man. Are you Hispanic?
Yeah, I'm Hispanic. Right now,
I don't know how I can tell.
No, lucky guess, I guess.
I could kind of tell though, for some reason. But anyway, even though your name is Justin, which is not doesn't.
I know everyone gives me crap about that. All the other Hispanic people, you got a white name. I like my name. Justin,
it's a nice name.
I like my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to answer your question, because of the pandemic, and now that Joe Biden is ruining everything with inflation and cost of everything, I had to roommate with my brothers and stuff like that. So,
okay. There's no shame in that. I mean, that's hard times, man.
Yeah, man. It's purposely being caused by people that are in the office.
Yeah.
Whatever. But, hey, Jake, I have to get back to work, man.
Good to hear from you.
Talking to you, man. It's
Appreciate
good to hear from you, too, man. And thank you, man, and God bless you.
You, too. Take care. Appreciate you,
too.
Justin.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry, kids. He cuss a lot. He's millennial. Slight Mexican accent, says Nemo. Yeah, I think I could detect that. I grew up amongst a bunch of Hispanics and Asians. Then when I would see myself in the mirror, I'm like, whoa, I'm white. What a mess. It wasn't like that when my parents grew up in the same area. It was surfers versus the beans every fighting season. Funny, huh? Let me get to Joe in Phoenix, Arizona. He wants to talk about this Arbery case. What's up, Joe? Appreciate you hanging in there. What's up?
Good morning, James.
Morning.
Okay, so you said that they were trying to make a citizen's arrest, I believe you said, right?
Yeah.
All right, James, the law in Georgia is very clear, state law. You can only make a citizen's arrest if you actually witnessed someone committing a serious crime.
A felony,
and
yeah.
And the suspect was trying to escape.
Okay,
That
now,
was the law at the time. It dates back to the Civil War and has since been repealed. But
yeah, they
did not-
repealed it because of this case, am I right?
Correct, yes. But they did not see Arbery commit any crime at all.
Right.
And they had no
Except
reason to.
Except
what?
when he assaulted Travis McMichael. That was a crime.
But James, that was post them trying to stop him. In fact, now
Right,
we can agree
yeah.
that.
Okay, now
we can.
Now let me interrupt you briefly.
That
Okay, go ahead.
Arbery should have remained calm,
Right.
and smarter, and not try to grab the gun from the guy. In fact, if he had remained calm and smarter, he would have had a great case for false imprisonment.
You're right.
And he could have sued them all. So
now
he should have been smarter about that.
Let me cut in to say, if it was so clear, and you are in agreement with a guy whom I actually respect, ABL. ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he says that the law is clear like what you said. But if the law is so clear, did you watch the case?
Not really, no.
What I heard from another honest black man named Brandon Tatum was that the 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 lawyers and the judge all argued for at least an hour, maybe longer, about this law because there is a separate clause in it which mentions reasonable suspicion of a crime being committed, which in some people's minds, including lawyers, trained lawyers, it indicates that you don't actually have to have eyewitnessed a felony happening. You have to just have the suspicion. I don't know how
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I don't know how clear that is.
But if that's true, James, then that leaves a very wide and broad problems for that state law.
Yeah, I know.
What is reasonable and who's making that determination? I mean, my goodness, that'd be a disaster of a law. So,
well,
but the last thing you and I can argue about, James, you accuse me of muddying the waters. You can try to muddy the waters about the Civil War all you want to. The Confederate Constitution is abundantly clear. The Civil War was only about slavery, period.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? Well, I know you don't think slavery was wrong, but most decent people do.
I mean, like I said, somebody asked if I said physical evil. It's a physical evil, but there's spiritual evil that is pushing the LGBT thing. In fact, both parties are pushing that stuff now and pushing the racism thing. And
BLM, and you know that. The reason why I can't stand BLM is because they have a very radical, LGBTQ agenda that I think is family destroying and especially black men destroying. So that's why I don't like the BLM. But, slavery, physical evil, spiritual evil, psychological evil all around, period.
But you disagree with the Bible saying that that masters should treat their slaves well and that slaves should treat their masters well.
I 100%. That was one of my biggest problems with the Bible. And I've talked to numerous pastors about that. Why is that even in the Bible? That's ridiculous if you ask me.
Let's say that in the past and to this day, that slavery was and is a fact of life. Given that there are people in that situation, I don't envy the slave owner. I wouldn't want to have slaves, just like I would not want to have pets. I don't like the responsibility. And I wouldn't want to be a slave.
Want a pet? What's wrong with you, James? Pets are awesome.
I know, I'm white. And I wouldn't want to be a slave. But given those circumstances, you still treat one another as brothers, as Christian brothers. So why shouldn't the Bible say that?
Because I think if someone is enslaving you and grinding you down with that evil, that is slavery, dehumanizing, brutal, abject, disgusting slavery. It's your duty as a man to break free from that.
It says if you can win your freedom, do so, but a lot of people can't just up and win their freedom, and you don't want to be evil. You don't want to repay evil for evil. There are times to suffer injustice.
We disagree on that. I mean, there's legal ways. There were slaves who to court, James.
Look,
and won their freedom.
You don't bomb an abortion clinic just because they're killing a bunch of babies. You don't repay evil for evil. There's ways to deal with it, and it's a lot of babies going to have to die in the meantime while we root out this evil from society.
Speaking of which,
yeah,
pay attention to the Supreme Court. There's two major cases being reviewed right now. One in Mississippi and one in Texas. That could literally lead to the end of Roe v. Wade. That's
amazing. That's cool.
It is. And it could come down to Amy Coney Barrett's decision. So watch carefully. These next 2 weeks, it should be really fascinating to watch. I know that the far left are losing their minds right now about that.
Yeah, it's wild. We shall see. Appreciate the call, Joe. Take care. Merry Christmas.
Take care. Merry Christmas to you too.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Before I get to Jeff in Louisiana, he wants to talk about black collars and their hypocrisy. This abortion mess. He just mentioned abortion. I saw this tweeted out by this liberal woman, silly liberal woman. Am I being redundant? Is that triple redundant? But Shuan had tweeted this out. It was retweeted by Cernovich. Bernie Sanders tweeted, I guess yesterday or today, as the Supreme Court today hears a case on Roe v. Wade, let me be very clear. It is a woman who has the right to control her own body, not the government. What an idiot, huh? That's him. If men were the ones giving birth, I doubt that this would be an issue. So he's kissing up to women, being a simp. Typical simp, communist Bernie Sanders thinking like a female. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. And so what do you see but Shuan had tweeting 4 screenshots of liberals on Twitter losing their minds saying, for someone, oh shoot, sorry kids. For someone who claims to be a progressive, you sure are a blanking transphobe. And by blanking, he said F word. And that's a liberal on Twitter. Women aren't the only people who give birth, says this other person. It's vital to be inclusive in your language when discussing reproductive rights, says this freak on Twitter. And I say freak based on the profile pic. It's just a disgusting person looking like a clown, an evil clown, sick. Is that redundant? Reminder that it's not difficult to use trans-inclusive language, and at this point, the average leftist should know better than to say things like this, because Bernie Sanders says a woman has a right to control her body, not the government. No, it's men's duty to control the women's bodies and not allow them to kill their babies in the womb. What a mess. And no women, non-women cannot get pregnant. Men can and do give birth. Not everyone is cis. Thanks for playing, says some psycho woman who has a guy in her picture too. I'm assuming it's a woman who's tweeted that out. Crazy, huh? Crazy people. And another pro-abortion person, another fat black woman who won't go away. I mentioned this in Hake News real quick. Stacey Abrams. Evil woman. Stacey Abrams is a disgusting person. She won't quit being a crying voter suppression. Voter suppression is a liberal conspiracy theory. It's their version of voter fraud. It's from Hake News. This far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, says Stacey Abrams yesterday, prominent Democrat, right, propped up by Oprah and disgusting people like that, announced she's entering the Georgia governor's race. She wants to run for governor. In 2018, she ran against now Governor Brian Kemp, a RINO, who would not even stand with Trump for what's right with regard to the election. She refused to concede amid allegations of voter suppression. No such thing. Instead, acknowledging that Kemp would be certified as the winner. It came after Kemp had dismissed Democrats' calls to recuse himself from overseeing the election. Meanwhile, others say there's no evidence the election was stolen. And that's the liberal black female Stacey Abrams calling it a stolen election, stolen from the blacks. Democrats like Biden, Raphael Warnock, who's a senator, can you believe it? And John Ossoff, and not a Christian, who's also a so-called senator. Can you believe it? Out of Georgia. How far you've fallen, Georgia. Able to win Georgia, and many attempted to attribute their victories to Abrams' work as a voting rights activist in the state. Abrams could face Brian Kemp again in 2022. Crazy, huh? Sick. So-called voting rights, meaning let every idiot and evil person vote for evil. So wrong. Anyway, let me get to Jeff in Louisiana. How are you doing, Jeff? Appreciate you hanging in there. What's up?
Pretty good. Hey, how are you doing?
Doing fine.
Okay, man, I want to comment on the first call, but I had two quick comments first.
Okay.
There was they were trying to kick Kyle Rittenhouse out of ASU, where they had
Arizona State University, where he's enrolled. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember they had two black women in there saying that the multicultural center is for them and what for white people and all that?
That's the same university? That's the same school?
Yes, that's the same school.
I did not know that.
They had a protest out there, and a guy was wearing a sign that said, Rosenbaum died how he lived. He was touched minors while he was alive. He tried to touch the minor as he died.
Yeah.
So that says something from Rittenhouse. But then we have one politician, this ain't vulgar, but it can't come off as, we have one politician with the ball to say what needs to be said. When talking about that, when talking about Kenosha, Ron DeSantis is quoted as saying anti-white.
Nice. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. But the reason I called originally, your first caller, William
from Illinois. Yeah. 70-something-year-old
Yeah.
guy thinks that he cares about Ahmaud Arbery. He doesn't care.
Well, let me ask you, if he's talking about us whites being held accountable for what we do, what does he think is going to happen? What do you think needs to happen to all the people rioting, protesting, stealing stuff, and burning down buildings and all this stuff? Nothing happens to them.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing at all happens to them. And they get a government pass because they're black. I mean, it's not just, well, honestly, it's just black people that are getting a pass and everything. Well, besides the illegals coming to the border now, but everybody else is held accountable to what to do.
Yeah.
But nobody's held accountable. I mean, it's just, it's like what they say, the pot calling kettle black.
Yeah, it's a very biased world we live in. So it's a warning to really watch yourself and try to stay wise in your decisions, because there's a lot of things you have the right to do, but you may end up paying for it because we have an unjust world. So,
yeah, man. I mean, that's all I'm going to say, man. I ain't going to hold you up. I think that's one call to get to.
Well, I appreciate it, Jeff. It's good to hear from you.
Have a good one.
Merry Christmas. Bye. Quick little story here in the last 5 minutes, guys. A fake Christian woman quote. I've invited this guy on the show before, and he's sharing this Christian woman quote. Jonathan Merritt. He's the son of a famous preacher, I guess, and he runs something called RNS, Religion News Service. And I didn't know it, but he is something else. But I'll tell you about that in a second. Here's a quote that he tweeted out that a liberal professor shared with me, a liberal so-called Christian professor who was a friend of mine when I was at Azusa Pacific University in the art department. This guy was like a historian, anti-Christian, anti-American really, historian, professor guy. Here's a quote that my friend thought was so deep. Really, it's a gotcha stuff. From Anne Lamott, and I have pictures of this evil woman. Anne Lamott, Lamott. She said, she tweeted or said, and I quote, "You can safely assume you've created God in your image when it turns out that God hates all the same people you do." That's a quote from this woman. And look at her wearing this vote goofy necklace with a moon and a star, communist, new agey woman. Look at her hair. She's wearing like dreadlocks. I think this woman is 100% white or one of those light-skinned wannabe white people who pretends like she's a Christian, but she's not. This is Anne Lamott, and she has signature dreadlocks. Looking so dirty, a white person like that, so-called white. According to Wikipedia, Anne Lamott, born 1954, is an American novelist and nonfiction writer. Her nonfiction works are largely autobiographical, so it's probably all fiction. She's a woman, a liberal, and she's projecting her hatred for conservatives because this is a statement aimed at conservative Christians, right? Because conservative Christians don't fall for the BLM thing. They don't fall for the LGBT thing. They don't fall for women killing the babies in the womb. And so in her mind, conservatives hate blacks, illegal aliens, Hispanics, women, gays, all that stuff, transgenders. She thinks that that's hate. And sometimes Christians do fall into hatred, but that doesn't mean that they're wrong on the moral issues. And she thinks that her God hates the conservatives, so give me a break. She's an evil person. She is a progressive political activist, says Wikipedia. Public speaker and writing teacher based in Marin County, California. Richville, Hippieville, Marin County. Shout out to Marin County. I've known people come down for men's forums and women's forums and different things from Marin in church. Lamott's writings, marked by their self-deprecating humor and openness, cover subjects such as alcoholism, single motherhood. This woman was a single mother. Depression, depressed, and Christianity. So she's a loser. But she's so deep, being quoted by liberal fake Christians who run RNS, Religion News Service. She was inducted into the California Hall of Fame in 2019. When she was 65 years old, she wed for the first time. Gross. She got married at age 65? Ugh. She married Neil Allen, age 63. What? She was 2 years older than this guy, whom she so-called married. A former vice president for marketing at McKesson Corporation in San Francisco. The couple had met in August in 2016 through Our Time, a matchmaking site for people over 50. He was a twice-divorced father of 4 who left his job at McKesson to devote himself to writing. Barf. She has these nasty dreadlocks, even though she's so-called white, looks white. And I didn't realize this, but this... Did I show you pictures? Did I include pictures of her wedding? Like with... Oh, I don't think I did. Oh, man. Anyway, I took screenshots, but I don't have them to share with you. But anyway, this guy, I didn't realize it, but he's gay. I'm not the only gay child of an SBC Southern Baptist Conference pastor who's home for the holidays, and he's wanting the Christians to kiss up to him about promoting homosexual preachers, speaking against that conservative Baptist network. So this guy's evil. Anyway, guys, that's that. I had to share that with you. They're subverting Christianity with these women and gays. Thank you, and I'll catch you maybe at 4 p.m. Pacific for the God's Learning Channel throwback, Jesse Lee Peterson, interviews the NAACP guy again. Have fun, guys. Maybe catch you tomorrow for the Friday show. Take care.